For as long as they've existed, humankind has looked up at the vast sea of stars in the sky and wondered if they're all alone in this big wide universe. You're not. 'Cause I'm here! Well, guess that's it for the episode. Where'd I put my end card? For years, humans have been looking for the signs that there are others like them in this big empty void of dark matter and whatever the else is making the universe expand. A number of hypotheses have been made about how extraterrestrials would communicate with each other across the galaxy. But could Earth instruments even be able to pick up on those communications? Actually, they did once, but instead of flipping over his desk, throwing his papers in the air, and ejecting a fellow researcher out the window of the observatory as he demands for the president, as one would reasonably do when the first message from another intelligent species is received, the real-life reaction was a lot more subdued. They just took a pen and wrote "wow" in the margins. How about picking up the phone and answering my calls for f***'s sake? I'm Vibi, and on this episode of A Space Alien Explains, the WOW signal. On August 15th, 1977, the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University picked up basically the weirdest thing ever. A sudden burst of radio waves came from the constellation Sagittarius. It lasted about 72 seconds long and was much more intense than any of the background frequencies in the skies that night. The signal didn't repeat, and when a second detector was aimed at the same patch of sky 3 minutes later, it was silent. The signal was never heard ever again. The Big Ear radio telescope was part of the SETI program, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. After the discovery of the signal, SETI kept searching that same region of space, but were never able to find anything as strong as the WOW signal. Big Ear was dismantled in 1998 to make way for a golf course, because Earthlings have a very strange fixation with putting balls in holes. Aliens won't mind if we put them on red for putt-putt. So what exactly was the cause of the WOW signal? Was it a comet passing by? Or maybe it really was aliens? Actually, that part is still pretty heavily debated, even 40 years later. The comet theory proposes that the gas clouds surrounding, we're calling them icy fast boys now. The icy fast boys were roughly in the right position to be picked up by the Big Ear that night, and in certain conditions, icy fast boys might emit a radio signal from the gas cloud surrounding them as they zoom towards the sun. But some people who are way smarter than me say the icy fast boys were actually not in the way at the correct time, and the frequencies icy fast boys give off aren't radio bright, which means they wouldn't be giving off radio waves as intense as the WOW signal. So I guess our other option is aliens. A pair of Cornell University physicists suggested in a paper that alien civilizations attempting to communicate by radio signals might use a frequency of 1420 megahertz, which is naturally emitted by hydrogen, the most common element in the universe. What was the frequency of the WOW signal? 1420.46. Definitely aliens now, right? Nope, space is full of curveballs, fast icy boys, and just general bullshit that doesn't make any bit of fucking goddamn sense. There's something called a fast radio burst, or FRBs, and they explain the sudden appearances and disappearances of radio signals. If Big Ear had detected one of these FRBs, it'd get something similar to the WOW signal. But the thing about FRBs is, they're also debating where those actually come from. If this episode has been sounding like the equivalent of a dog chasing its own tail, you'd be absolutely f***ing right, because humans have been chasing their own non-existent tails over this radio transmission for the past 40 years. But that's why I'm here today, to clear things up once and for all. The WOW signal was me. I was asking if you could move your abnormally large moon. It was in my parking space. I, forgot you couldn't really answer back. Sorry. Hi guys, as always, thanks for watching. In case you missed it in the previous video, I recently got a Twitter and I am having a fantastic time meeting the community there. You guys are really freaking amazing, and I'm so lucky to end up with such a welcoming crowd. It's been a blast. But yeah, follow me on Twitter, link is in the description, it ain't very hard to get a hold of me. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you again, see you soon.